I know that Allen Iverson is not the prime king. I know everybody don't like him. I know his history's been, well documented. But we're talking basketball. Y'all need to go back and look at the highlights.
In my generation, AI was much the same. He'd always put you in jeopardy.
What were the players that you looked up to the most?
Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, #1. Allen Iverson was #2.
Low key, I've always wanted to be like Allen Iverson.
You played against Allen, it was one of those things that he is the Red Bull.
Little guy's not supposed to be doing that. Little guy's not supposed to be crossing up the greatest player ever to play the game twice and not go anywhere. Little guy's not supposed to come in and get knocked to the floor and still come back up.
And I don't think we should judge Allen for the way that he wants to express himself.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
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 We talking about practice. We talk about practice?
You ready to go to practice before we get better, bro?
Practice? Not the game, you talking about practice?
Even practice.
Practice. We talking about practice.
This is the honest to God truth. I retired because of Allen Iverson. He came down and he did that crossover thing, and I tried it, and then he laid it up, and then he hit me on the butt running by, and I knew it was time to go.
He had such incredible speed and such a quick first step.
To be that quick and his energy
It's amazing.
is something that makes him remarkable.
When we hear words like one-word descriptions of you, I would say competitor. Who's on your short list of best competitors you've faced?
Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson are the two that come to mind immediately. In my generation, AI was much the same. I mean, from opening tip to the end, I mean, this guy was just going and going and going, and he'd always put you in jeopardy.
Talk to us about your relationship with Kobe and what it was like going to war with him over all these years.
He was just...
He really admired you, bro.
Yeah, he was the ultimate. He was the ultimate competitive man. Like,
you lucky Allen Iverson not 6'8". 6'6", that's what he always
that's what that man said, man.
You lucky Allen Iverson.
When I heard that, it made me feel so good because the respect that he gave me, it was like, he know.
He drove me to be as more obsessive about the game because I had to figure out how to solve that problem,
You know how killers respect killers. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. He knew who I was. I know who he is. He gave me that push. I gave it to him. I love the stories. Just for people to put me in the same sentence with Kobe, just make me feel good about my grind, my mom, my family, my teammates, y'all, my homeboys. Just is a tribute to y'all.
And I told him when I saw him here this weekend, I said, man, you don't realize how much you pushed me, and I don't think people nowadays realize how great you were as a player, and how big of a problem you were for defenses.
To put me in the same category as Kobe Bryant, like, that's so dope to me.
Rick, I remember my first year coaching in Toronto. I'm in this little restaurant I go to, a little quiet place. In walks AI. We got a Sunday afternoon game, 12 o'clock, and AI is hanging pretty good, and it's early, and I'm sending them drinks, and I'm like, AI, keep drinking up, keep eating. And he looks at me as he's drinking one of my drinks. He said, Coach, it's not going to work. I love Toronto. I like to put a show on here. And he commenced to coming out and giving us about 49 the next day at 12 o'clock.
Nice delivery to Iverson. Comes up, scored. Got it to Iverson. In this building on draft night. Here's Iverson clear from to go one-on-one with Calderon. Now comes up on a crossover, written. Allen Iverson, Chuck, those numbers say it all.
To me, pound for pound, one of the most toughest competitors in the NBA. He knew he was going to get hit, knew he was going to get beat, but yet he kept getting up and he kept coming. And so, like Grant said, much deserved, one of the toughest players ever in the history of this game for his size.
Who was like the hardest player that like every year you're like, yeah, I gotta be ready for this guy? Like
Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson. Because Because, you know, I always say, like, Allen was he was like that white boy player in high school that played balls hard, like sweating on you playing.
Okay,
but he was the talent. You know, it was the talent. You know what I mean? You know, he's playing 150 miles an hour the whole time. Like, so you're gonna go from him getting a steal here to him saving the ball, jumping 4 rows into the what's the name? Somehow he got out of that and made a layup.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Like, you know what I mean? That was his hustle. Like, you know, if you know a ball got knocked loose and you're like jogging, I was about to go out of bounds, he's sprinting to it, like he was one of those guys. So when you played against Allen, it was one of those things that he is the Red Bull.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, trying to stop him from scoring was a whole issue on itself.
Yeah.
Because, you know, green light, you know, he had no conscience. He's trying to score 50, 60. Yeah. But it's matching his energy was what people didn't understand. Right. We got to match his energy to even compete with the 60. Right. You know what I mean? So it's one of those guys, you got to pick him up, you know, 64 feet. You got to do all that. It's like, it's because, you know, like on offense, you got to try to get him tired when you don't have the ball because you don't want him to rest because he's doing the same thing. Like it was just, you know, it was like you'd rather guard, to be honest, you'd rather guard Kobe.
Really?
Than Allen.
Why?
Because with Kobe, he's gonna go to his spots. You know, it's gonna walk you down. Come on, woo, woo, woo. Yeah. You already know you
know what's coming.
You're gonna get someone who's trying to score 60. But there's different types of 60. Yeah. This guy he's a 60 headache.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those 60 headaches where it's like, it's just a nonstop coming. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I know, you know, Kobe got the ball every single time, but it didn't actually feel like it. Yeah. Because it's like, it went through offense. Yeah. You know, it went through offense, he cut, passed it, backdoor, this. Okay, he came to the, he looked around, he didn't like it, passed it, repost it. Okay, whoo, got some breaks. Yeah. Allen, as soon as he got the ball, he went to go try to score. If he didn't, he passed it, got it back, then tried to score. Yeah. He didn't like that, he got it, then tried to score. Yeah. It's like, God, like you. Yeah. So you're sitting here like, stop me real quick. Yeah. and don't have on number 3. Yeah. If you had on number 3, he took it personal.
I'm going to zero in on a date. We just celebrated the anniversary, March 12th, 1997, your rookie year. The team at this point of the season is 16-45, and you're playing the defending champion Chicago Bulls at what was then the First Union Center. They were 54-8 coming in.
As a kid, Allen had bragged to his coach about taking MJ. And now, he'd finally get his chance.
And at one point during the game, you're isolated on Michael Jordan.
When I grabbed the ball, I heard Phil Jackson yell, Michael. That play, that one, I remember that play vividly because Michael Jordan was my hero. Everybody know that. He was my favorite player, he was my idol. I literally wanted to be like Mike. I remember the first time I played against him.
And I've heard you say multiple times that when you saw him for the first time on the court, it was like the Chappelle Show. He had the aura. You could literally see the aura around him.
Like, I literally seen his aura. Like it looked like he was glowing.
Talk a little about Allen Iverson for a second. First of all, two-part question. I want to know what you think of his game. He had 32 points, but 9 turnovers. And number 2, for a rookie, does he talk a little too much on the court?
Well, I mean, he's very confident, and I think I can understand where he's coming from. He wants to be respected in this league, and he certainly has the right skills.
It was Mike. It was my idol. It was my hero. And I got a lot of flack from my teammates, you know what I mean? Because they were like, you know, basically teasing me like, you're not gonna play your game tonight, huh? Because you're playing against your guy. You're not gonna come with it, huh? I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? So I was being this tough guy with them. I used to always tell my family and my friends and my teammates in college and high school, said, you know, even the guys on my team for the Sixers, Said, if I get the greatest player to ever play the game on me, I'm gonna try my move on him.
Is he the quickest guy you've faced?
He's very quick. Him as well as Stoudemire, and I think both of those guys are very, very quick. And as long as we come up with the win, I can care less.
Thanks, Mike.
First on the
So
team.
I remember I came off a screen or something, and I heard Phil Jackson say his name. Mike called him to switch out on me.
Iverson has Jordan. The crowd is into it.
I gave him a little cross to see would he bite on it. I let him set his feet, and then I stepped it back again.
Allen shakes free, gets two. Mike said no. Allen said yes. The bucket, the crowd loves it.
And I gave him a little one, and he went for it. And I was like, oh yeah, I got his ass now.
Here he was, a rookie coming into the league, going against the best player in the game, probably the best player in the history of the game. And it was sort of a statement play. He comes in and goes at him. They're switched off, and he crosses him up twice, hits a tough shot on him. Of course, the Bulls did win the game, but it was sort of like, introducing Allen Iverson to the basketball world.
I don't know if I can say it in here, but it was like, MF, you don't love me, you wouldn't have crossed me like that. So it was Mike. I mean, the greatest player to ever play the game.
The great thing about it, I never had to guard him because I wasn't stupid enough to switch on him after I saw what he did to MJ.
Got a little guy. Little guy's not supposed to be doing that. Little guy's not supposed to be crossing up the greatest player ever to play the game twice and not go anywhere. Little guy's not supposed to come in and get knocked to the floor and still come back up. Little guy's not supposed to do whatever he wants to do. Little guy's not supposed to be a three-time scoring champ.
Four,
excuse me. So that's why I think he had a bigger impact. I think people can relate to him more because it's not a lot of guys that are 7'11". It's not a lot of guys that are 7'1", but it's a lot of guys that are 6 foot, 5'9", 5'10".
And one story I have. We have a practice. He's going hard as I don't know what. The media's been on him kind of all this, and he's just mad. He's quiet, he's not saying nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, I feel something coming. Go to Milwaukee. It was the best game I've ever seen by a teammate in my life. He gave them 60-something, passing the ball, doing his thing. Was he a difficult player to play with? He only knows how to score. He only knows how to go hard. But I've never in my life, never, played with a player that played as hard as him on the court. Maybe Bobby Jackson, Doug Christie, other guys that played as hard. And so it's a lot of guys I know played this hard, but I've never been with somebody played as hard as him. And so when I see him going through all this, I just hope that at the end of the day, because all we're talking about is basketball. He's not President Obama. All we're talking about is Boop. And if you look at him and what he did, man, you name me another guy with the heart he had every night. He used to wear hockey pads. You know the pads that go, you guys probably wore them too, the pads that go all the way around you. I used to see him after games, bruised, banged up, and his only thing was, yo, Wab, I gotta go hard. If they watch me, this is the first night. This might be the first time anybody's ever come see me play. It's just an honor to watch that guy play, man. I'm proud to say I played with him.
Justin Kimbrell said on that night he had 54.
54. Well, I lied. I put 6 on it. I put 6 on it. My
I
bad.
get it.
This is the second consecutive year that we've been up here on this stage. You've been nominated once again. Congratulations on that. How do you feel about that?
I feel very excited until I saw that Allen Iverson was nominated. So this is the honest to God. I retired because of Allen Iverson. He came down and he did that crossover thing, and I tried it, and then he laid it up, and then he hit me on the butt running by, and I knew it was time to go.
No, listen. I'll tell you a story. When I was a rookie, my first game that I was a man literally destroyed me. Like, I ain't never had nobody bust my ass before. Not for real. I in my life. And I hadn't been killed like that before in my career, in my lifetime. And we played the Phoenix Suns, and KJ gave me 39, 9, and 9.
Kevin Johnson.
Yes. Ooh. And it was not off athletic ability or nothing like that. It was just, he was just so much smarter than me. He just knew how to play the game. You know what I mean? I was just a puppy.
Yeah.
And you know what you did to me. You know what you did. And I remember Maurice Cheeks was our coach. I remember Mo Cheeks telling me after the game, I sat in the locker room and I was crying. And I was actually crying. in my locker. I never got destroyed like that.
Yeah.